Good morning, everyone. This is Myra, and I want to thank you all for joining me this morning for the first installment of Art with Miss Myra. And like I posted on Facebook yesterday, and I appreciate you all sharing that video. I got a lot of comments last night with some questions about what kind of projects we're going to be doing, and I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. And like I said yesterday, I will be doing this. You know, if you're like me, most of you are probably staying home. The kids here in North Dakota, where I live, are out of school till through the end of the week, and then the governor has said that he will decide after that as to what's happening. So I will continue doing these programs these lessons every weekday at 11 Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And I'll just continue doing that until the kids are back in school. But I want to welcome all the homeschoolers too that are joining us. I'm so happy to have you guys come on board. And I just hope that everybody has a lot of fun. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'm going to apologize to start out with today. I'm going to try to figure out something different with my phone for tomorrow, so you can see what I'm working on the table a little bit better. But as of right now, this is what it is and stuff. And so if anybody has any questions about what we have done today, or if I can help you out better later, you just let me know. So thank you so much. And I'm going to adjust the camera just a little bit so we can get started. So today, what we're going to be working on is we're going to be working on a project in which we're going to be making paper beads. And paper beads are little beads like this. This is one that I made this morning. And it is, I just took a plain piece of white paper. You don't need to have any kind of decorative paper to do this project. And this is why this is fun, because we're all at home right now and not running out to the stores and stuff, hopefully too much. And so that you can just take a plain piece of white paper, and as long as you have crayons or markers or something like that, you can do this project. But you also need, for this project, you are going to need toothpicks, or this is a skewer. It's a manicure stick. You can use a manicure stick. The hole for your bead will just be a little bit bigger. Or if you have bamboo sticks at home, or chopsticks at home, you can really do it on any kind of little circular. You could even go outside and just get a stick outside, and as long as you took the bark off and stuff, you could use that stick. So we've got our paper for one, our crayons, or our markers to do our decorating for our paper. We also need, like I said, toothpick or a skewer. We need a scissor. We'll need to have just regular school glue. And then if you want to add some kind of beads in later, or when you're doing your actual necklace, this is going to be a necklace that we're going to be doing, or you can do a little bracelet. I've just got some little beads here and stuff that we are going to use at the end and stuff to when we string. Okay, so I've just got a couple little beads. And then for our string, we can just use yarn. And I'm going to give you a little trick and stuff on how to more easily thread the yarn through a bead. But I'll do that at when we get to that point. Or this is some elastic cording that I have. I realize probably not everybody has this on hand. But it's just a little elastic cording and stuff that I've made bracelets with. But if you've got that, great. Or this is crochet thread. A lot of our moms and grandmas might have some of this at home, so ask them if you can borrow some to make some things with, and then after you've gathered all your supplies, then you're ready to go. So, all right, so let's get started. So you can see on this paper, I've already started coloring a little bit. And like I said, you can use any kind of paper. You can use pre-printed stationery paper if you have that available to you, or I actually even made a couple of beads today just out of newspaper. This is just newspaper. So, and I was joking around with somebody last night. I told them, yep, you could even take a piece of paper out of the phone book if you wanted to. If you wanted that color bead or that style bead or whatever and stuff, you could even rip something out of the phone book and do it. Ask your moms and dads before you do that, okay, guys? So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to... Actually, I'm going to just color one more color on this, and then we're going to start cutting. And I want to show you how to cut, because when we're doing this project, we are going to cut in long, almost triangles, okay? That's the idea of how we want to cut, and I'll show you that here in a second. I'm just going to get this one more color on here and stuff, and then we're gonna get going. So now, because I didn't color all the way to the end of this page, I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the excess white paper and just set that aside. Now this is what I have, okay? So because I went vertically, and because I colored vertically, I want to cut in the opposite way of the way I colored, okay? So I want to get as much of the colors, as many of the colors as I possibly can on each strip of paper, okay? So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to just start down here on the end, and I'm going to start in the very, very corner, and I'm just going to cut upwards. And I'm going to end up with a strip that is like this. And that's exactly what I want, and that's how I'm going to cut all my strips of paper, okay? So the next strip, I'm gonna flip it around, because you know I've got the wider up here. So I'm gonna flip around to this way, and then I'm just going to, again, just cut upwards and make it into kind of a wide, you know, it's kind of a weird shaped triangle, but that's the shape of the paper that I want, okay, to start rolling my beads. So I'm gonna just quickly cut a couple more here and stuff so we can show you guys how to do this. I hope everybody's been outside today and stuff. It's very, very sunny here, and I hope everybody's getting out and enjoying some of the nice sunshine today. So for those of you that don't personally know me, but you're just tuned in because maybe a friend of yours shared this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I live in southwestern North Dakota, and I have been an art teacher teaching art classes for adults and children since 2006. So I teach classes on a variety of different things. I'm actually a fiber artist. So I work primarily with fiber. I do spinning, weaving, knitting, felting, and all things that are revolve around fiber and wool, working with that. But I teach classes on watercolor painting, pottery, beading. I teach all kinds of different classes to children. I formerly was the after-school instructor for an art-based program in Jamestown, North Dakota. And I did that for a number of years, and I taught all kinds of classes. Anything art and craft related, that's what I love to do, and that's why I'm so happy to share today with you. So, all right, so once we get all of these strips cut, and like I said, these are this is what our strips of paper are going to look like. You're going to take one of your toothpicks, okay? And now you're going to have the colored side or the printed side facing away from you, okay? And I realize that looks funny on the camera and stuff, but I want this to be looking away from me. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna put this at the very, very top. That's at the very, very top. And then I'm just going to very firmly take this and start rolling my paper all the way down, okay? So I'm just gonna take my time and I'm just gonna roll and roll and roll and roll all the way down to the end to make this beautiful bead. You're just gonna wanna take your time to do this, okay? And then when I get down to the very, very end, I'm gonna take my glue, and actually I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit of glue out on a sheet of paper and then take another toothpick because I don't wanna have a lot of glue on this. I'm just gonna lightly dab just a little bit of glue on it, and then I'm just gonna continue rolling. I've got another paper towel right here. I'm gonna wipe off the excess glue on the paper towel. Don't wipe it on your clothes. Okay, and then I'm just gonna set this in my bowl. I'm gonna show you guys another one. So like I said, you're gonna have the printed side facing away from you, okay? And you're going to take your toothpick or your skewer or your bamboo stick or you know, a manicure stick works too, girls. So ask your moms if they have one. And then we're just gonna start rolling. We're gonna go roll all the way down to the end and make a pretty little bead. Okay, and then I've gotten down to the end, so I'm gonna take my other little toothpick, we're gonna dab it into just a tiny little bit of glue and then put it just on the very, very end, and then go ahead and roll all the way up, wipe off my excess, and then I'm going to stick this in my little bowl. Okay, so what we're going to want to do at the end, once you've made a whole bunch of beads, we're going to get ready to make our necklace. So what I did today, because this is St. Patrick's Day, I took a piece of paper today and I colored orange and green and white for the Irish flag. I'm actually Irish, so I'm celebrating my heritage today by doing this and sharing it with you. And then I had some glitter nail polish, and I just put that over the top so it gave it a kind of a pop of color and stuff. And that's what you're gonna want to do. And this is an optional part, okay? When you get all done with your beads, before you take them off of your toothpicks, okay, when they're dry, they're gonna dry for about 10 minutes, and then you're gonna want to seal them, okay? And how you do that is you take clear top coat nail polish, and you're just gonna go over them. Or like I did here with my beads this morning, I had this glitter nail polish, and I just went ahead and sealed it with the glitter nail polish, okay? And it's a good way to seal it. But that's an optional part. You don't have to do that. If you don't have those kinds of things available to you, don't worry about it and stuff. You don't have to do that with this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna thread my necklace on this crochet thread, okay? And so I'm going to, and I kind of like to wear my necklaces long, And so I'm gonna kind of figure out and stuff about how long I want it. And then I'm gonna measure out about this much more than what I think I need, okay? Because we wanna have it longer rather than shorter, because if it's too long at the end, we can always cut it off. But if it's too short, well, then we have a little problem, right? So I'm gonna go ahead, I cut my thread, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start beading. And this takes a little bit of time, it takes a little bit of patience. I do wanna mention something to you. If some of you kids are just using yarn, I'm gonna mention this is a really easy trick if you're having problems threading your beads in here. You know how yarn sometimes separates a little bit? And it might be a little bit harder to thread through because of all of the different fibers in that yarn. What we're gonna do is you can just take your yarn and you can take a little bit of glue and put on the end and let that dry. And then because that gets hard, then it's easier to thread. Okay, so that's just a little trick for you. If that's what you have available to you and stuff, it still works. Okay, so you can still make it work. So, all right, and there's my first bead. So now, because I have some beads, but I realize not everybody might, you might not have some beads. So this is optional. You don't have to do this, but I am going to thread a couple extra little beads that I've gotten from the store that I just had on hand. Those were things that I had here in my house. So that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to just thread those beads. And we want to make this however you would like. I mean, it's what art is, and I tell all the kids in my class that come to my class, and if you're a former student of mine, you've heard me say this, art is what you think is beautiful. It's not what, my idea of what I think is beautiful might be something totally different than what somebody else thinks is beautiful. But if you are making and creating art, it is what you think is beautiful. And that's what you should do. So, okay. I'm just going to go ahead and put a couple more beads on here, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to finish this off. Even though I'm not going to be done with my necklace, I'm going to show you how we're going to finish this off so you guys at home will know how to do this. Okay, so now what I would do to finish this off is I would go ahead and I would bead this entire necklace because I want it to go all the way around, and I want all of my beads all the way around my neck, right? But when I get done, and so I'm not done right now, but I'm just going to show you guys this, okay? So when you are all completed and you're all done, you're going to lay and you want to have about this much left at the end, okay? And you're going to hold your two strings together, your two threads together, okay? And then you're just gonna wanna twist it over your index finger, and then you're just gonna tie a little knot. And that's how you're gonna finish your little necklace. And like I said, you want to make sure that it's loose enough and big enough that it fits over your head, because we're not going to put a clasp on this. We're just going to tie it, because we're just going to, people probably wouldn't have that in their house and stuff, clasps and stuff. So we're just using stuff that's in our house. So we want to make it easy, and we're just going to tie it off. So if I went ahead and tied it off, and did you see I tied it 2 times? Because we want to make sure that this stays firm and it doesn't come undone, okay? And so when you get done with that, and if you have excess, you're going to go ahead and trim it off, and then you're going to be able to wear your necklace. So there, and if this was all completed and all done, it would be all the way up. So, and that's how I want yours to be. So thank you so much for joining me today for art with Miss Myra, and you can come back tomorrow, and I hope that you do, at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And if you have any questions on the project that we did today, I would encourage you to contact me. Ask your mom and dad to contact me, or your grandma and grandpas if you're home with them. And then just as a quick reminder, oops, it fell down. As a quick reminder, for a project tomorrow, all you're going to need for supplies for your project tomorrow is going to be a pair of scissors and then a t-shirt that you can cut up, okay? So go to your dads, go to your grandpas, go to your moms, go to your grandmas, and ask them for a t-shirt that you can cut up and make into something for your project tomorrow. And that's what we're going to be working on for tomorrow. But thank you so much for joining me and learning how to make paper beads. And I hope you guys had fun, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.